Yo, welcome back to the Urban Impact Show. I'm one of your hosts, Rob Johnson.
And I'm your favorite host, Shekinah.
Listen, y'all, 2020 has been crazy. Welcome to the 1 year anniversary show where we're just going to be doing some recap on what took place, what happened, and we're ready to go. 2020 was crazy, right?
Absolutely crazy, and it's not even done yet. We got a couple more months left.
Listen, if somebody told me that there was a half goat, half puppy standing outside with some Harold's chicken and a real chicken standing next to it clapping, I would believe it at this point.
If somebody told me that an infectious respiratory disease was going to come, Kobe was going to be gone, Chadwick Boseman is going to be gone, in the same year a black woman to be elected to VP as the Democratic nominee, 2020 is outrageous.
And an inland hurricane? Who ever heard about that?
I
I couldn't even say the word at first. It was derecho is how you say it now, but I couldn't even say it at first. It was crazy. But man, we're going to also be talking about favorite moments. What were some of yours?
Well, I'll give you a little bit because I can't give him all of it, y'all. He be trying to take all the secret sauce, and I can't let him know everything. But I have 3 favorite moments that we've endured. One, I think the crazy thing about 2020 is our 1 year anniversary. I didn't know that I was going to make it a year with this young man. You guys, you'll hear all about that. So one of my favorite moments is the first show that we did, which was Clash of the Clippers, Battle of the Salons. That was the name.
I got that on my list too. So so we definitely got to talk about that.
We're going to talk about that one. My second favorite moment was our show about local elected officials. I guess the national one was good too. Okay, so I have a lot of favorite moments. This is what we're learning here. But so that's my other one, the elected officials, talking to them about their plans and how they're going to impact the community. My third favorite was the role of media in today's society, specifically talking about black media, but people of color in addition to that. So those are my 3. What are your 3?
So listen, mine was secure the bag, but how?
Secure the bag with Stoy Hall.
You know I'm a money man.
Yes.
We always talk about money, and we our financial future is we gotta secure it.
Right.
We gotta make sure that we're no longer playing with this thing, but we're making it happen. Zakia. When Zakia and Medi came on the show talking about the Black Health Challenge, started working out with them.
Black Collar CrossFit and Grace Fitness.
Yep, Black Collar and Grace. Yeah, good job, nice work.
I was on the show. I remember. Rock his kids.
And then, of course, my all-time is the first show. Like, I mean, we got to talk about it. So
wait till y'all hear this story. Yeah. You are watching the Urban Impact Show, and this is our 1 year anniversary. Stay tuned. We'll be right back.
We'll be right back.
Rob and Shekinah, congratulations to the Urban Impact Show. And you know what? I know that it takes a team. I know that it wasn't just you all. I know it was Will and all those who are involved in the work you've been doing for a year. I can't even believe it's been a year. But you all have gotten it in. You have amplified so many of our voices and throughout our community and made a great impact. Hence the name Urban Impact. So I just want to say thank you for everything you've done. Can't wait to see what more is in store for all of you. And just appreciate the mic that you've handed over to so many of us and doing it with excellence so we can be proud of it. Congratulations on your 1 year anniversary.
And we are back. Welcome back to the Urban Impact Show. Yes. I'm one of your hosts, Rob Johnson.
And I'm your favorite host, Shekinah.
That never gets old.
Never, because it's the truth.
Come to think about it, you've been doing that a whole year now.
I have been doing that a whole year. As today is our anniversary show.
You've been doing
1 year. I have had my seatbelt on, ladies and gentlemen, for 1 year. Rocking with Mr. Robert James Johnson.
Not my whole day.
You will never know the adventures that we have on this side.
That is very true. That is very true. Man, all of the stuff. But real talk, though, huge shout out to you for being down for the ride. You know what I mean? Because
shout out to the team.
I know it hasn't been easy for this year. So we are grateful and we're thankful. Shout out to the team.
Yes.
You know, to everybody that has helped produce this.
Yes.
All of our guests who have come on this show.
Urban City Magazine has been a huge help.
You know, our EP, Hal Dixon, executive producer. And so, you know, man, this has been a humbling, hard-working journey to get this off the ground and make this happen. But I feel like we have built this to a place where I feel like our community can trust us with news, with knowledge, with understanding. And they come to you for the facts. they come to me for opinion.
We hope that you all can trust us. We really feel like this is a family conversation. And this show stands to make a real impact in our community, and we want to make sure that we are doing that. We want to be respectful of your time and use that wisely, and respectful of our time and the team's time. And so we are committed to the cause. This is all about you.
Speaking of causes, 2020 has been a crazy year, Shekinah.
Absolutely.
And let me tell you, first of all, in my 32 years of living, I've never heard of a storm called Derecho.
You know, and I studied Spanish for all my Espanol folks out there. I thought, izquierda and derecha is right and left. So I was like, why is everybody mispronouncing? I don't know where derecho came from, but evidently there's a person from Iowa years and years ago. So derecho is not a new term, right? It was new to us because we never experienced that.
Right, never heard of it.
The person who named the storm is from Iowa.
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, I didn't know that until I found out maybe about 2 weeks after the storm happened, because I couldn't say the word. I kept calling it a Duraco. I kept calling it a Durico storm. And finally, somebody who loved me enough said, Rob, it's pronounced Derecho. And I said, okay. But speaking of it, so we had one of these storms come down through Des Moines, Iowa, and it really wrecked Cedar Rapids.
Yeah.
I mean, Lynn County, which is where Cedar Rapids is in, it pretty much, as a matter of fact, the report said that 99% of Lynn County had been out of power for at least 3 to 4 days.
Yeah, and it was declared a disaster area.
It was. And finally, people had started to see what happened, and people were saying, Rob, like the pictures that you see have nothing, like you have to come down there. And so huge shout out to the team who drove with me down to Cedar Rapids to help us give away food and blankets and clothes and all of that good stuff. And let me tell you, Shekinah, it was mind blowing. Like I was touched, because we got to this area called Hawthorne Apartments. 100 trees were down.
Wow.
They weren't just knocked over trees. They were uprooted from the ground.
Wow.
It was like, it was so mind blowing to me, because it was like somebody literally just plucked the tree right about the ground. And I was like, do you imagine how strong that had to be to take concrete and ground?
Absolutely.
Like these trees were from the root. Like they were all the way. I couldn't believe it. Like literally my mind was blown. So hearts and prayers to those in Cedar Rapids. Absolutely. I know that power has been restored to almost 99% of the people who were without it.
Yeah.
So huge shout out to you all. Huge shout out to those who've been working hard to get it. We're going back to Cedar Rapids on Tuesday, and so for the Black Vote Tour, shout out to the team for that.
Yeah.
And so I'm super excited about that. But also 2020 didn't just bring like this storm or this thing that makes us think about climate change, but it's also brought us to a place where we're thinking about social justice. And during Derecho, there were people that looked like you and I who were displaced.
Yeah.
Who already had everything that they had been working for and fighting for in one location. Yeah. And now the roof and the living room, the dining room, the bedrooms are all destroyed.
Right.
And everything that they own. And so we were fighting to make sure that those individuals were taken care of. And so that was one disparity of 2020. Another one of those disparities has been these shootings. It's the shootings by either these vigilantes or someone of authority like a police officer. And speaking of that, is the most recent that is in the news is Kenosha, Wisconsin. Yeah. Right? And that's where our good brother Jacob Blake shot 7 times a Kenosha police officer. Yeah. After reports say that he was breaking up a fight that was between one of his loved ones and somebody else. The police approached. When they approached, words were exchanged, and Mr. Blake walked away from the conversation to head back to the car. The police then followed him with guns drawn, and as he got And as he got to the car, opened the door, they opened fire. They shot him 7 times.
Yeah.
My issue with that is after the first shot,
right,
you didn't think it worked?
Right. It's sad. There's several issues with that on so many levels. But I think that it's another thing that helps or keeps us pushing and keeps us fighting. The beautiful part of 2020 that I have seen is us helping us.
Yes.
Our family in Cedar Rapids, who is trying to get back on feet from derecho, us came to help us. And there a young lady missing in the Quad City areas, us was going to help
Briasia.
Yes.
Find Briasia. She's still missing.
Right. And so even with Jacob Blake, thank God he is alive and has a message for folks. I saw something on Instagram a little bit ago, like a video that one of his guys recorded where he was giving a message to people basically about life in our time and no drama. Like, let's not let this elevate to something greater. I feel like we're at a pinnacle. We're at a turning point of something, and this is a prime opportunity to see some key change in our communities that people have been fighting for generations prior to ours. And so I am excited for this change, and I'm proud to see the community being resilient and reaching out and helping one another during this time. It's so needed.
Yeah. 2020 also brought up some other stuff.
Yeah, hot mess. Chadwick Boseman, our Black Panther. What? I can't. It was too much. It was too much. I did not. What was I doing? I was doing something. I was on the phone and somebody was like, Chadwick Boseman died. And I was like, what?
I think we were on the phone.
He's not even like what? How? Why? You know? But we did get word about that, about him passing away of colon cancer. And you may know him from Black Panther, but he also participated in one of my favorite movies, 42. I'm not even a movie person, but I really enjoyed that movie, 42. Get On Up, the James Brown story, Message from the King, Marshall, very good Marshall story.
I'm gonna have to go watch. I haven't seen that one. I'm gonna have to go watch that one.
Oh yeah, like his roles are. I think he chose roles strategically on purpose. Yeah, and they were truly dynamic in moving things forward in the Black community. And so, I think he was just a boss in his own right and super humble about that. And so many prayers and well wishes to his family. And we thank God, I thank God for what he did bless us with in his time here. In addition to that current event of Chadwick Boseman passing away, we have a historic nominee for Vice President-elect, the Kamala Harris, who is currently a U.S. Senator, all the way from Oakland. You know, she with it. That's the girl. She is so great. And I don't want you to take it from what I'm saying, you know. Reach into it yourself. But Senator, District Attorney of California, Attorney General Howard Grad, member of Alpha Kappa Alpha Sorority Incorporated, in addition to the Links Incorporated. She has a very clear resume and history, and sometimes you can judge people based on what they say they're going to do. I encourage people to judge people based on what they have done. And so you can't be judged if you haven't done anything. So I think that it just is what it is. But history is upon us, and we have a great opportunity, and that's why voting, in my humble opinion, is so important, and we cannot sit back. We are a part of the problem if we choose to stay at home and be apathetic.
You are so right. Voting is definitely
absolutely
a part of what we got to do. And in 1 year of doing this show, we have talked with presidential candidates.
We have.
At one point, Kamala was a presidential candidate.
Yes.
We had the opportunity to talk to her as well. We've spoken with local candidates because we understand that local races matter, and that
absolutely,
if you want your street paved and your kids educated and your police department changed, you got to vote for your city council and your mayoral elections.
Yeah,
your county
school board too.
School boards. So those are major pieces. And so I think we're in it. And speaking of voting, we're going to take a quick break, and you're going to hear a message from both of our friends.
She's really my friend.
I would agree with that. I would definitely agree with that.
She's our friend.
But
friend of the people.
But she's also iconic and historic in her own way.
Absolutely.
Made history in 2018 by becoming one of the first African Americans to ever be nominated by a major party to run on a statewide ticket here in the state of Iowa with her historic run for Secretary of State.
Yes.
And if you really go back and you look at it, a lot of people were saying that was the first time that they paid attention to the Secretary of State's race. And people all over, she garnered so much attention that people started paying attention to Nebraska Secretary of State, Georgia Secretary of State, Florida. Like, it started to make that role more prevalent and more interesting for people to pay attention to, even though it's a little bit down the ballot. So
and she's the palm.com too.
So just in case you haven't figured out who we're talking about the wonderful Miss Deidre DeGier. So check out this message from her, and we'll be right back.
The Urban Impact Show has been around for 1 whole year. We have heard them uplift issues in politics, dive deep on current events for Blacks, for people of color, business owners, hard to reach folks, all in the midst of a pandemic, to enrich our opportunities for progress. Thank you, Urban Impact Show, for what you've done and what you're continuing to do for our community. Now, for our community, it's so important that we talk about everything that has happened this year. 2020 has been a year for the history books. Let us mark history by turning out in historic numbers to do one thing: to vote. Vote by mail, vote early, vote on the day of. Regardless of how you choose to exercise your right to vote, let history be marked by your participation in this election, because our democracy literally depends on you. Thank you for listening. Thank you for diving in. Thank you for sharing this message, because without you, there is no us. And you are the history makers, making history today, so that 50 years from now, people will look back on these moments and be reminded of what the right thing to do is. And at all times, the right thing to do is to always be truthful, be honest, be selfless, and using our voice.
And we are back.
Yes, we
Urban
are.
Impact Show. This is our 1 year show anniversary, and we are celebrating that with you.
You
this
made
is
it.
going to be a great time. So we're going to talk about a few of my favorite things, kind of like Oprah. Here are a few of my favorite things.
This is really funny.
So, one of my favorite moments on the show was when we talked with elected officials who wanted to become our next either president of the United States of America, school board, city council. I think that was the mayoral elected official roles. I really enjoyed those shows because it's what impacts us every day. If your house catches on fire, you are not calling somebody in Washington to put that out. We talked about what's impacting the people on a daily basis. What are some of the issues that they see? How are they going to address those issues? And then what can we expect after that? We heard from our Des Moines mayoral candidates, as well as most of the Des Moines City Council candidates. School board, which was monumental. And it was really cool to see how we talked to them in the beginning, their passions, what they wanted to do, how they wanted to be impactful. And no one knew 2020 was going to turn out like this, right? And so now it's time to put in that work. And so I think it's going to be really great when we get a chance to check back in with some of those guests from the elected official shows and see how they've made progress, how they are faring through the challenges that we're seeing today. So elected officials was definitely in my top shows. Second top show, media's role in society.
That's a big one.
It was huge. Yeah. We had Leticia, I always say her name right. Leticia Tesia Mufunga with Channel 8 here in Des Moines. If you don't know, Channel 8 is the #1 news network in our region. And so Tesia and Rhea were on talking about some challenges that they see within media and their role at the table and how that's impactful. We also had a representative from Lale radio station, Monica Reyes, who was great. She's thebomb.com. That's my girl. Shout out to Monica, girl. Monica. We had a whole lesson afterwards. How was it, Monica?
I liked how they just rolled.
Monica.
Reyes.
And then we had a writer from the Register, Lynn Tao. Sorry, Lynn, I don't want to mess up your name. But Lynn from the Des Moines Register, who also talked to us about media and how it's impacting the world that we live in. That was a really dynamic show. Every day we're impacted by media. Media, marketing, Super Bowl commercials go for huge amounts of money, and we bypass that and don't think about how it's impacting us in our daily lives and how we go on. But it really, 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 really is. And so great conversation with those ladies. They all are doing great work. And that was before the social justice movement had ramped up. So to hear from them now would really be interesting to see how media is playing a part in this and how people have taken it upon themselves to be their own journalists. If they're not seeing what they like, they go out and do what they want to do, or create podcasts to tell a different side of the story, or just highlight communities that they don't feel are getting as much love. I have one more favorite moment, and that's our first day. I'm not going to talk about that one just yet. I am going to hold that because you do not know. I'm sure of it. If I told you, you wouldn't even believe it. But I'm going to tell you in a bit. We're going to get to Rob's top moments, and then we'll get to that first day show. So
first of all, huge shout out to TC and all of them. That was dope. That was really dope. Sorry if we messed up your last name. I want to make sure. Just correct us, and I'm sure somebody will. As a matter of fact, Terrence, how do you say it? Do you know how to say it?
Muzinga.
Muzinga.
Sorry, TC, we love you, girl.
Sorry. Hey, you still. So listen, check this out. So my top 2 favorite moments. So number 1, most of y'all who don't know, I used to work in the financial industry. And so one of my favorite moments was when we were educating people about finances with my boy Stoy Hall.
Secure the
bag, but how? Right? We always talk about securing the bag, but nobody tells us how to get the bag.
Yes.
And how to make sure that the bag stays. Because you can get the bag and then the bag can quickly leave.
Right. And then you chasing the bag.
Right. You chasing the bag more than you chasing anything. Yes. Right? And so finally, we want people to get the bag and then chase the dreams. You know what I mean? That's where. So huge shout out to my boy Stoy Hall. He's been killing it on that front. And then also one of my other top moments was when Medi and Zakia came in, Black Collar CrossFit and Grace Fitness.
Yes.
And they came in and we talked about we talked about getting healthy and being healthy. I started working out with them. I still am. Sometimes I can't make all of the 6 a.m. classes, but man, let me tell you, it's definitely got me into a routine. I try to do something every single day now. As a matter of fact, I was over at a friend's house and they told me that my belly had went down.
Oh,
I said,
watch out.
Yeah. That ain't all they said, but I'm going to take that part. You know what I'm saying?
Take the wins. Take
that part. And so huge shout out to definitely Zakia, Grace Fitness, the Black Health Challenge. You can find it on Facebook.
Yes.
They're killing it and doing their thing, and they're talking about some serious stuff. Talking about mental health, talking about physical health, and all that great stuff.
Yeah.
And then, of course, my all-time favorite is our first show and how it all went down. But we'll be back to talk about that. But we even got videos from some of the people who've been on the show.
We do.
To talk about some fun stuff. And so you'll see a few of those videos come up right now during this commercial break. You're watching the Urban Impact Show. I'm Rob Johnson.
I'm Shekinah Young.
And we'll be right back.
Hello, my name is Zakia English with Grace Fitness. And what Urban City Magazine has done for me, it has given me a platform to help and to inspire. And I would like to thank Hal for giving me the opportunity to be the first to have an article in a magazine because of him. And I'm so very thankful to you, Hal, for the hidden treasure that you are in the city. And I hope that every dream that you have comes true. And I thank you from the bottom of my heart for all that you have done to help me as a black business owner in Des Moines, and with the will and desire to help people use your platform to help and to reach. And I thank you, and please, please, please keep up the good work.
Congratulations, friends, at the Urban Impact Show for your 1-year anniversary. I'm so excited for what you all are doing for the city, for our community, and we're looking forward to so many more years and great content coming from you all. Pleasure being on the show. Much love.
We are back, and you are watching the Urban Impact Show. This is our 1-year anniversary show, and we are happy that you have tuned in to chat with us about what has gone on in this past year.
I'm a little nervous about this segment, but let's ride.
He should be nervous. If you are just tuning in, like I mentioned, this is our 1-year anniversary show. We talked a little bit about what's been happening in 2020. We talked earlier about our top 2 favorite moments in show history of what's been going on. We've had some guests pop in to say congratulations on 1 year, or just drop some little tidbits on you. So feel free to go back and watch that if you have not. But now we are going to talk about both of our favorite moment in the show. Just happened to be the same. And that is the first show that we ever did. So we are all about family conversations. We want you to feel like you are an active member of our show. So we want to hear from you too. Don't forget to make comments below the video to tell us how you feel about our favorite moments. Tell us your own favorite moments, and feel free to side with me or Robert, because I'm sure this favorite moment will be recalled a little different.
Yo, so hashtag Team Rob, hashtag Team Shekinah. Let's see who wins this.
Oh, is this a battle? So, yes, we're going to do this. So our first show was at the Clash of the Clippers Battle of the Salons hair show. Yep. And before we get to the actual show, I would like to give my rendition of how this came to be.
Let's hear this story.
Robert James Johnson calls me and says, I'm planning this podcast. I want to know if you want to be a part of it. I don't even think he said podcast. I'm planning this show. I want to know if you want to be a part of it. So I'm like, okay, sure. I am happy. It's all about community, how we're going to impact community. I'm down. So he says, these are his instructions. Ladies and gentlemen, these are his instructions. Meet me at Prairie Meadows at a certain time. This whole time, I thought the show was radio. So audio only, no video. I'm like, me and at Prairie, why are we going to Prairie Meadows? But okay, meet him at Prairie Meadows. So I think the day, it was a Sunday, the day of the show, I text him like, what are you wearing? Or this isn't recorded, right? It's not video, it's just audio, right? And he's like, no, we gotta have cameras. Cameras? Okay. So luckily, I got my hair done like the week before or something like that. I had a new color. Y'all should go back and check it out. It was so cute. So I had this color and I was like, okay, I'm ready. I had to change like my entire everything. I don't know what we're talking about, who we talking to, nothing. I know nothing. All I know is show up at Prairie Meadows. I get to Prairie Meadows. Rob is there. We have, I'll pause. Robert, do you have any interjections?
I would like to tell the real story. Oh. You know the real story.
Hashtag Team Shekinah.
Hashtag Team Rob. Just want y'all to know.
Truth.
Hashtag Team Rob. Just want y'all to understand. Did I say that? Hashtag Team Rob. Thanks. Just wanted to make sure I said that again. So the show happened because So our EP, Hal Dixon,
Yes.
comes to me and he says, "Yo, I want to do this show. Like, I want to talk about community and I want to do this thing." And y'all know how he's been out here hustling and grinding for the community.
Yeah.
Kind of under the radar for a very long time. Yeah. He's like, "Yo, I want to do this show." Right? I'm like, "Oh, bro." Some people know him as Boo Boo, right? Like that's his nickname.
Yeah.
You know, Boo.
Boo.
And so,
that's it. Yeah, yeah.
And so I'm like, all right, yo, let's do it. So we sit down.
Did you call him Boo when you said let's do it? You said let's do it, Boo.
Nah. I didn't say that. I didn't say that. I said how. Just want to be clear on that.
Got
it. So we sit down at a coffee shop.
Okay.
And we're talking about the show, trying to figure out how we gonna do it. We start looking around and trying to come up with a name, and we start asking some of the people that were in the coffee shop, like, "Hey, how does if you were to watch a podcast on Facebook Live, how would you, if the show was called this, would you watch it?" We got overwhelming response on Urban Impact. So then that's when I said, "Hey, Hal, I'm down to do the show. If I could pick the co-host, and you trust me with that." He said, "Yeah, pick whoever you like. Let's roll." So I said, "Man, the only person I think would be really good that we can vibe off of really well would be Shekinah."
I was his second pick. This is the edited version.
We've been friends. That's hilarious. We've been friends for 15 years. We've gone to school together. You know what I mean? We ran
out of gas together.
We have. That's
broke together.
That is true. You know what I'm saying? We done been through some things. You know what I mean?
That's true.
And so I'm like, yo, let's grab Shekinah. So I call Shekinah and I say, "Hey, do you want to do this podcast with me?" She says, "But tell me a little bit more." So I it's about community, I make it sound good. Make it sound real good. So then I'm like, all right, meet me at Perry Meadows for our first show. So then
I had no clue why we were even going to Prairie Meadows. Rob doesn't gamble. I don't gamble. I'm like, it's a podcast. Why are we at Prairie Meadows? Maybe they have these audio booths or something there that I don't know about. I didn't even know that podcasts were like visually represented. I thought that you just do audio and go on your Apple store or whatever. So bamboozled is the word that comes to mind.
So when she shows up in this orange jacket, looking fly.
Orange is my favorite color. Shout out to her Treasures Boutique.
Looking fly. You know what I mean? And I'm like, yo, we getting ready to go live as soon as Hal gets here with the camera. So we gonna set up. We're gonna put some lights on this thing and we ready to rock and roll. Next thing you know, Matt and Hal roll up with the cameras and all of this stuff. Lights, camera, action. At that point, shout out to Big Rob and Tina. Platinum Cups and Paparazzis was the very first guest on this show. Big Rob stepped out there with the styling and profiling sunglasses. My boy was looking good, I said, all right, brother, and it would be this time right now that we would be doing the Clash of the Clippers if it wasn't for COVID-19.
Absolutely. The part that's like a little fuzzy in Rob's response is, I still was in disbelief of what was happening. I didn't even know what Clash of the Clippers, Battle of the Salons, I didn't even know what we were getting into. So I walk into this place. There are all these people with they're selling their stuff, right?
Yep. So vendors and all of this stuff.
Vendors for there was
all
a booth
different
across
types
from
of
us
hairstyles
about how to grow your beard.
Yep.
I didn't even know. I was just in awe. Like, what is happening? They turn these bright lights on, y'all. They turn this camera on, and I'm just like, dude, I used to work in production. And so I'm used to like script. I know intro, I know outro. So I'm like, where's the script? There's no script.
That's when your handy dandy notebook.
This is why
That's when the handy dandy notebook came.
This is why I have notebook, because that's what you do.
That is
notes, right? But not with Robert. But it was it was a great time because it was such a surprise to me because I didn't know what we were getting ourselves into. I'm not sure Rob did either, but his tolerance for surprises and like, ooh, let's go with the flow when we just jumping in here is higher than mine.
Yeah, I'm ready
monumental.
to go. Yeah, I'm ready to go.
But it was a great time. We spoke with barbers from all across the state,
even in other, all across the country.
Yes, right. And there was one barber, I forget his name. He was saying that he cut Tupac's hair for a movie.
Yeah. He had dreads.
Yes.
You know what? Big Rob's gonna have to come back and tell us about how all of that is stuff, how all that's going, and what's happening on that stuff.
We talked about how the art of cosmetology, barbering, beauticians, esthetician, if you do anything with someone's hair, that's a skill that no one can take from you.
Yeah.
That impacts our community in huge ways.
Yeah.
And how that's an impactor to the local economy.
You remember, I can't remember, somebody had just passed the bill that allow people to wear their hair.
Yeah, their natural hair. The Crown Act.
Yes. It had just passed.
Yeah. We got a chance to talk about
that.
And
we were talking about that on the first show. I will say, we were at Clash of the Clippers for 4 hours.
That's another thing, ladies and gentlemen. Rob, how long is the show? Oh, it's about an hour. Okay. 4 hours later. I'm still there, and I'm running around. Oh, and I have this orange blazer on, right? And this white dress.
White dress.
And orange is my favorite color. I don't wear orange often, but I have these orange suede pumps. And for my folks that wear pumps, in my opinion, pumps are not a shoe that you want to stay in a place for 4 hours while you're walking around trying to grab people for interviews. That's not the kind of shoe that is. By hour 4, my shoes were under the table, notebook in hand, and I'm just like, look, can you just shoot me from the waist up? Because this is not gonna work that way. It was a great time, and we even got a chance to catch a portion of the show. Big Rob got some awards.
Yep.
Tina and the rest of the folks that accompanied her won the competition.
Yep.
I purchased some jewelry. We got some caramel cake
from Shelly's Sugar Shack.
Yes.
Which, by the way, I'm gonna need another one of those.
Yes, Shelly's Sugar Shack is amazing. It was a good show. The reason that it was one of my favorite moments is because sometimes you don't have all the pieces, right? Sure. You don't have all the pieces, but you have a vision, and you know how you want to impact something. And if you have not had the pleasure to meet Mr. Hal Dixon, then it is truly a treat. He is a visionary, right? So he had a vision of what he wanted to start with the Urban Impact Show. Convinced Rob to join in this vision, and Rob bamboozled me. And this vision came together when all of the pieces weren't known. We did not have a script. We did not have a run of show. We got there and something had happened with the equipment, and so that was delayed. All these things happened that were not a part of the plan, but in the end, what we've been able to do in the past year, the impact that we are trying to make with our community, the impact that we're making with mental health, physical health, economic empowerment, all of that, and even more that we have coming in the rest of 2020 and 2021 is huge. And if we would have not started this show because we didn't have those things that would make people like me more comfortable or feel that we are prepared, because I questioned it at times, ladies and gentlemen.
She still does.
I do. But I got my seatbelt on. I feel like I'm the only one in the car with the seatbelt on. But if we had not started, where would we be? And so that's why that's my favorite moment.
Yeah.
Because sometimes the hardest thing to do is to start. Jump out there, you know? You may not have all the answers. Sneak peek, you don't have all the answers. You're gonna learn as you go. You'll never know everything, even though I think I know 99.9% everything. No.
That's hilarious. So it's mine, or one of mine, because of the people.
Mm-hmm.
Because of you, Al, Big Willie style. All of the barbers, all of the beauticians, Matt, and all of the cameras, the vendors. That moment just it was just the kickoff.
Mm-hmm.
It was a combination of a bunch of stuff coming together, and the people is why I mean, we interviewed so many people.
Yes,
that day.
Representative of KO Abdul Samad.
Yep. To Rita.
Yes.
From,
she has her own Shy Intimate Apparel.
Yep. She's
Sorry,
running her own business.
She does. They're bras. Intimate. That's what I was.
Hilarious. But it's like we interviewed like so many people. Even
Mama of the Ice Sister Reds.
Miss Pam.
Yeah.
We interviewed Mo.
Mm-hmm.
One of the women barbers.
She is great.
From Platinum.
I really enjoyed her.
Right, from Platinum Cut, and I think that's from she was from Platinum West.
Right. The new location.
Yeah. And so it was just such a dope moment.
Yeah.
And we had the opportunity, and what made it more fun for me was everybody wanted to be a part of it.
Yeah.
And everybody was stopping as they were walking by.
Like, what's the Urban Impact Show?
Yeah.
And they're asking me, and I'm like, I don't even know.
Yeah. Everybody was like stopping, and it was like, well, interview us. We'll interview us, right?
Yes.
And everybody, and it was those people who helped spread the word about this show, because we didn't do any paid marketing.
No, and then we did nothing.
We
just popped up.
We did. And it was the voice of the people.
Yes.
That has made this show what it is. That's why that's my favorite.
Yeah.
Because if it wasn't for a group of people who decided, you know what, we all want to watch this show, we want to support this show.
Right.
Nobody would be watching this show.
Right.
A huge shout out to all of you who are supporting this show.
Absolutely.
And who have stuck it out with us. Even though we know some shows might have been like the janky promoter type.
Just know, behind the scenes.
Yes.
I was getting everybody together.
Oh, Lord. What's the word, Terrence? Gathered.
Let's meet real quick.
Yeah. So, they can find out more info about us. Where should they go?
Absolutely. Facebook, Instagram, Urban Impact Show.
Yep.
We usually have some feature or spot within the Urban City Magazine. YouTube coming your way. We got a lot of stuff that's coming. It's cooking, it's marinating, crock-potting. We crock-potting some stuff. It's the season.
I don't cook. I don't
God bless them. You don't cook, you don't eat, right?
Hey, you make some fire jerk fish, though.
Rob tells everybody this.
Yeah, real talk.
Thank you, Robert. Thank you.
Hey, look, my middle name is out there. Your cooking is out there.
Clearly. We need you to like, comment, subscribe, and share the shows. We want to hear from you. This is a voice of the people, by the people, for the people.
Absolutely.
Without you, we can't exist and be as effective as we want to be. So we need you to engage in that too. So feel free. Let us know if you like my version of our first show.
Hashtag Team Shekinah.
Or if you like to believe falsities through Robert's version of the first show.
Yeah. You can ride with me. Hashtag Team Rob.
We wear seatbelts in this car.
But no, for real, man. Thank y'all so much for tuning in. It has been a true blessing. I want to be clear on something. I know we've interviewed a lot of people. This is a nonpartisan show.
Yes.
We're not pushing an agenda for one party or another. For us, this is bigger than politics.
Absolutely.
This is about people. This is about our community. And the Urban Impact Show exists simply because of those words. Urban Impact. So thank you for joining us. I'm one of your hosts, Rob Johnson.
I am Shekinah.
Your favorite.
Yes, you said it, not me.
Hey, and we look forward next time. Be on the lookout, because we're going to be talking about some really cool stuff coming up here in the next, I would say, a few months before the election, after the election, and next year. Be on the lookout. We look forward to seeing you soon. Take care.
See ya.